connector. So let's start by building the camera. And the first thing you want to do is you want to put the side handle on the camera. So it goes on the right side of the handle, and if you look right here, there is a little grip. It says grip, but it's a Lancy connector, little mini connector. And if you look right here on the lens, there's a on the right handle, there's a Lancy connector. If you look right here, there's a little white dot on the top of this, and if you look right here, there's a little white dot right there. And you just want to align those. But first thing you want to do is you want to plug this in. So you want to make sure you plug that in, and it's got to go down in there tight. So you just want to make sure that when you put it in there, it's popped in. And then you want to make sure that you don't bind the cable into the, when you mount this. So again, you want to line up the two white dots, and then you want to turn them counterclockwise. And so that's how that goes on. So that's the side handle. So let's continue by putting the top handle on the camera. This is the top handle. And so what you'll notice is on the top of the camera, there's a little rubber gasket that goes in the connector here. If you take that out, there's a multi-function pin here that the handle goes down in, but you need to protect that, and so you need to keep this little rubber gasket. And if you look on the bottom of the handle here, Sony gave you a little place here that you can actually put that rubber gasket into the bottom of the handle and keep it there. And then the lens goes right on the top here, and that connector fits right down in there. This is a toolless knobs on here, and so you just tighten these down. So it goes just like that, and you want to thumb tighten them. You don't want to over tighten them, but you want it to be pretty tight. And then you're going to take the LCD, and usually what I'll do is I'll take it apart so that you see the little connector there, and then you've got three places that you can mount this. You can mount it here on a 1/4 screw, you can mount it here on the back of the handle on a 1/4 screw, and you can mount it on the right side on a 1/4 screw. We're gonna mount it here on the front, and so I'm just gonna mount this in and screw it in. Screw that right in. I have it kind of facing out because I want the monitor out in front a little bit. And then you're gonna take the LCD and you're gonna just put the LCD right in there, just like that. So, and then tighten it down, just like that. And then you're going to take this cable and you're going to run it over, and the cable's going to plug into this side of the camera. So if you look at this little cable right here, on one side of the cable there is a little arrow right here, right there's the arrow. On the other side there's not. The arrow actually faces out and it fits right in there. Now right next to that is a little cable holder that you want to carefully plug that into, and then on the front of the handle here there's another cable holder that you can plug this into as well, and that is right here. And so that kind of keeps the cable out of the way for you. It keeps it organized for you right there. So that's it. And then what you want to do is you want to put the battery on. So the battery, goes right in the back. There's a gold connectors on the bottom of the battery, and those go down, and so that goes right into the back here. You put it in, and then you slide it down until it clicks, and you make sure that it's in there. To get it out, you have to push this release button, and the battery comes out. So again, BPU 35 battery, it lasts about 2 hours, takes about 2.5 hours to charge initially. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take your shotgun mic, and you're going to plug the XLR connector in, the female XLR connector into the XLR connector on the back of the microphone. Once you have that in, you're going to undo the mic holder adapter, and you're going to fit that rubber gasket right in. And the edges of the rubber gasket go on each side of the holder, and then you want to clip that down. And you can see how close that is to the edge there. And then you're going to take this XLR, the male XLR adapter here, and you're going to plug it into input 1, which is right here under the shotgun mic. There's a plastic connector there, and you want to plug that in and align the XLR cable holes up, and just put it in so it pops in right there. And then right below that here, there's a switch that says line mic plus 48. You just need to make sure that that switch is all the way over to mic plus 48. So that's it. So there's the shotgun mic. And then we're going to put the LCD lens hood on there. And I'm just going to put this down so you can see. You want to do the top first. So you want to bring these out. And the top goes on first. It just connects like this. And then the bottom goes on. So you can see I'm putting the bottom on. It just goes there. And then I'm pulling that forward. So then it's on like that. And then you can open it up. and you've got a nice LCD hood there that you can use. So if you'll take a look at this, you can see that is actually pretty good on there. And so that's your LCD lens hood. And you can see the monitor flips around. And then of course this is the AC power supply, and it plugs in. You want to save these cables. Now I use bongo ties a lot, or I use rubber bands. But if you're using these wire wraps on here, the thing to do is you want to wrap these wire wraps around the end that's not plugging in the wall, so you don't accidentally plug those into an outlet, so that you keep them like that, and then you can use those, to keep the cables organized. And then I plug that in to the AC power supply, so the AC power supply is in like that, and then this fits in the back of the camera, and we'll go through that when we go through the camera video, or you can plug this into the back of the base plate for the battery base plate here, and this is how you charge the batteries, just like this, by plugging this in. Okay, so let's set that aside, and then we're going to put the lens on. Now you always want the camera off when you plug the lens in, because when you have the camera on, it creates an electromagnetic current around the sensor that will attract dust. So on the very front of the lens right here, there is a button right there, a release button. So you push that in and you take that off, okay? First thing you want to do is you want to take the back of the lens off. And so you want to make sure you're holding this very carefully. And if you look on the back of the lens here, on the lens, there's a little white dot right there. See that little white dot? And if you look on the flange, if I take the lens cover off, on the flange of the lens right here, there's another little white dot right there. So what you're doing is you're aligning those two things up. So I'm just going to take these and I'm going to align those up, and just like that, and then I'm going to turn it clockwise until it clicks, and then the camera's in. So that's the camera, completely built, FS6. And then what you want to do is you want to take these two lens caps, and you want to put these two lens caps together and then put those in your camera bag. So there you go. There's the FX6 completely built. And it took us about 5 minutes, not too bad at all.